it's like it's goes like too much amazing, like the previous days and all. And I hope like you loved all the things that I gonna convey to you, to being a very good web developer. And I feel like you can help. It will help you to become very good web developer if you follow my instructions very carefully. So for today, that is the last day of the boot camp. We're gonna learn something interesting. Okay, not like a tech stack, but gonna be too much interesting to you, because it's a very important phase of a web developer. Like what we say, like the important phase of web developer. Okay, so it's that much good. You're gonna like it. Secondly, I want to tell you some announcements. First announcement is related to recordings. Up to day 5, I have uploaded the recordings. Okay. For day 6 and today, that is day 7, I will upload latest by today or by tomorrow in the worst case. Okay. And your certificates are shared already, which are on time. Digital tags are also certificate shared, which are on time. Now I will after the event, mostly by after 2 3 days, or let's see when I can share your certificate of appreciations who have attended more than the expected cutoff I will set out. We'll let you know that also in Discord after checking your attendance and all. So if you have to do more of the events, like at least half of the at least half means more than 3 kind of, then you will get a certificate of appreciation for attending this boot camp. So it gonna have a total of 7 separate certificates. Let's say if you have attended for the all 7 days, and then plus one the certificate of appreciations. And I really request you guys to upload that certificates in the LinkedIn. Do tag me with my name Aditya Kumar Gupta, and I will be there, so that people get know about the boot camps and all. And it's a hard work, guys. Okay, so just publish it so that everyone gets to know about that. Okay, don't forget to tag me, else I will know. Else I don't know. But don't be notified if you upload something related to that. Okay, so just tag me so that the things will be notified. Okay, so we can start today's class. Okay, and then there will be kind of um, guest lecture, you can say, related to the motivation of web development. Okay, so it's gonna be that much amazing. Okay, just we can start now. I hope my PPT is visible. Okay, if any issues came in between, just let me know. Okay, you can text me, or you can just unmute and say even, no issues. Okay, basics of web development, and it's gonna be day 7. Okay, and this is Aditya Gupta. If you don't remember my name till now, and I'm at a Beta Microsoft student ambassador. This is a beta level. Okay, we're gonna start. We're gonna learn about today's web hosting and web deployment. Now, whenever you learn about this, or whenever you heard about this web development or web hosting, it mostly goes to the development, but indirectly you end up doing web deployment. Okay, so it works like that. I'm gonna show you 2 methods how you can host website and how this web development works. So we'll see how the tool how it helps out. So first of all, this means called as web deployment. Deployment in web development means to push changes or updates from one deployment environment to the another environment. When setting up a website, when setting up a website, you will always have your live website, which is called the live environment or production environment. Guys, my voice is breaking. It's kind of lagging.
Yeah, Aditya.
Okay, let me switch. Just a minute then. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thanks, Pratish, for confirmation. And we can go to the PPT. Okay, so that's what I was teaching about. What is basically a web deployment is. Web development is nothing a very big term, maybe if you're thinking of, but it's basically a kind of making changes to your website, right, repeatedly. And then it's given a term called as web deployment when it's come into kind of business and organizations. Okay, so what is basically the definition? Like it just written specifically push changes or updates from one deployment environment to the another. So let's say if you have installed the app, let's say Teams in your mobile. So every month maybe you get a notification from Play Store to update its app, right? So what is basically this? So it's basically pushing changes or updates, whatever errors it have or whatever unique features you will get to it after updating it. You can take in advantage of it, right? So basically that is basically a web development, sorry, web deployment. That basically it works. Now, while deployment models can vary, the most common is the classic from left to right model that I am showing from here. That is four phases. When working with multiple deployment environments, in this model, changes are made in local deployment or staging environment depending on a setup and pushed from left to right to a different environment, ending up in a line environment, live environment. Okay, what basically we did till now, let me make an analogy. So local environment is basically the environment we are currently doing now. Whatever the websites we have built till now, you have noticed, right? So I have just built it. Nothing I have hosted somewhere, or maybe that website is visible to me only. I'm sharing my screen so that you are able to see that websites, right? If I not share my screen, then you will not able to see that website. If you try to say me like, hey Aditya, can you send me the link of that website so that I can view it in my mobile, then I will say no, I have not hosted yet. So what this basically it means, the thing that is visible to you only is basically called as a local phase. Okay, now what is development phase? You're previewing it with the help of a live server. Then you're okay saying like, okay, H1 is not looking good, let me change it to have something, let's say red color, let's say, or whatever you're making it to a blue color. Okay, so you are doing some developments in that. So whatever changes you do in that is called basically as a development. Now, once the website is ready, you are showing to someone else. Let's say you are showing to that. Let's say your boss has given you an opportunity to make a website. So you came with the local development phase. Now you are showing that website to your boss. So basically, it is called as a private preview. Why private preview? Because your boss is only has the like opportunity to view a web page, right? You're not showing to anyone else because it's too much confidential again, thing like that. So that phase is basically called as a tagging phase. Why? Because it is in a private preview, and in that private preview, that some changes are be made to that website so that it becomes more good, some more refinement of the code or whatever it can be, because you're gonna change it, right? Because it's in private preview. Even if you don't gonna change it, you will make it visible to some more people so that they can find out the errors in that, so that you can fix it. And once it's done, you will go to this live phase, which is called as public preview. So that's happened basically with VS Code. Even when VS Code, the software editor that we are using, code editor, it happens same. When VS Code is developed first for, it's in basically a tagging area. Tagging area is called the private preview. Just for the some peoples in a Microsoft organizations has the access to use this VS Code. But once all the errors are cleared, or else all the measurements are passed, it is pushed into the live preview, in which that is a public preview, and we are using because of this in our softwares, right? Else we are not able to use it. So basically that basically works. One more thing that you should know, that like there are four phases of web deployment. If you Google it, you may find some or more, but in some standard cases, we'll just stick this to four. So for if I'm saying about me, even then I will stick to four. That's, you need to take care of it. Fine. Next, one more thing that I need to tell you, like it's not like unidirectional. It's just shown in unidirectional, but it's like you can go to this path also. Like in private preview, you find some errors, right? So you will go to development phase, then you will go to this phase. Maybe you can go to this local phase also, depending upon a requirement. Then but once you go to the previous stage, you can come forward only. So basically this representation you can consider like a linked list representation. If you have studied data structures and algorithms, in that you know basically what is linked list. It is called as a single linked list, or if it pointing to some places like this, then it becomes kind of doubly linked list. Okay, it works like that. So nothing specific of web deployment. What web deployment means is to make changes to your website. If some error occurs, just remove that errors and make this into public preview after the private preview. Okay, next about what is web hosting. So web hosting is basically is an online service that allow you to publish a website's file onto the internet. So anyone who has access to the internet has access to a website. In practice, it usually refers to the service you get from a web hosting service provider. So why I say basically it's an interesting topic. Why? Because web hosting is the basically most important or most exciting part for a web developer. Okay, why I'm saying this? Because you're building a web, right? You have built many webs, like you have built it till now 5 web, there is websites till now in this 7 days boot camp. Okay, so you have to show this your website, okay, to someone to showcase your skills, let's say. So you can't share the file that we have built like index.html or style.css, right? No one is that much free to just integrate that and just view the index.html, let's say. You have to upload it somewhere so that the people can see your skills about that. So that's basically goes to the interesting part of web developer. Why? Because you're gonna showcase your skills to someone else who is going to hire you or who is going to praise for you. Once you showcase them, you're gonna say like, "Oh, Aditya, you have built a messy good website," kind of like that. Okay, just yeah. So that was basically goes like I will show you how you can do it in an easy way and in a somewhat like a more good way. That's really fine. We'll have a hands-on demo now, so that's gonna be amazing. But you can understand, right? Why I'm saying it's interesting, because everyone gonna praise you, everyone gonna give blessings to you after you show their website to them if they liked it, right? So you will get a motivation out of that if someone tries to praise you, like what happens to me, like I'm giving this 5 7 days boot camp, right? I'm getting many messages from the people. It's like, "Hey Aditya, you're doing great. Your content is really good. I really loving it, seeing your classes. Even after seeing the classes, they're using the recording also, right? Because, so that's what happening, right? And even they're interested in more boot camps like this. So that's what happening. Given so what they are doing is they are giving motivations to me so that I will conduct more events, so that I will refine my more content like that. So similarly, if you're a web developer, then your blessings or your praise will go when you upload the website. Okay, so that's what basically goes in web hosting. In web hosting, you have many service providers. Maybe you can use a WordPress that I used in my first event. If you see my first event, I use WordPress for whole website. Then GitHub we wanna use now. There's a free website service provider also, like a pro free host. My first website I hosted in WordPress. Then I hosted our website in Profi host. Okay. Then 000 web host. It's useful for dynamic website. I will say what's basically different when starting and web dynamic. Then Infinity Free. Then there is a Wix, and there are more service provider, but these are the pronounced service provider. If you go, but they are the free that I provided. Use the free. If you want to use something called as not free, then you will use Azure. But I will say when to use Azure and when not to. But mostly case I will say to use Azure. But maybe in some cases I may use. I may suggest you. Let me tell you when it comes to you. Web hosting has some parts like a file, FTP, then email accounts, website tool building, website databases. If you are working with what we say CNAMEs, what is a CNAME is custom domain name, then you have to use this. But as of now, it's not much as important. Just to show you, I have included the pic. Now, what is a GitHub? We're gonna host our first website with the help of a GitHub. Okay, so what is GitHub is? It's a provider of internet hosting. It's also mentioned for software development version control using Git. It offers a distributed version control and source code management functionality of Git plus its own feature. It provides access control and several collaboration features such as bug tracking, features request, task management, continuous integration, wikis, and headquarters in and its headquarters in California. It's a subsidiary of Microsoft since 2018. So now GitHub is a stack. Now GitHub is a technology given by Microsoft. Okay, it is owned by Microsoft. Mention know that. It is commonly used to hold open source projects. As of November 2021, GitHub reports having over 73 million developers and more than 200 million repositories. Okay, what is repository? Repository is like a container in a GitHub in which you're gonna upload your files and you're gonna host that website onto a link called as websites. Okay. So for repository, you can just think of people used to say call as repo as a container. In Azure also there's a container called as blob storage containers. Okay, in Azure. Fine. Okay. For the GitHub, there's one drawback that I should mention you, else you will not get the difference of it. What the drawback of GitHub is, first of all, know what is types of website. There are two types of website. There's a static website and there's a dynamic website. Okay, what makes a website static and what makes a website dynamic? If you are using HTML, if you are using CSS, if you are using Bootstrap, if you are using JS, then a website is characterized as static. That we did in our bootcamp. If we use something more, like let's say Node.js, if we use any database, let's say SQL, Mongoose, uh, React, Angular, whatever, then it comes into dynamic. So now I got it right. So whenever you're using these special languages, that is frameworks, then you can't host that website into GitHub. So that's the basically drawback of GitHub. But whenever you're using just the web languages such as HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, then you can host that website into GitHub. So that basically So maybe you're thinking, if you are building a dynamic website, then what you should do? Then my second hosting method you should prefer for dynamic website. That's what I said. In some cases, you may prefer Azure, but in some cases not. So in what case you will not prefer Azure? If you are if you are totally new to the web development and don't know about web hosting, and you build a static website. But furthermore, it depends on static website. Like what's your requirement of the static website? What requirement does it means to me? Like whether it's kind of unofficial for like just for web host, just it you just did for sake, or whether you're taking some requests from that website. If you're taking some requests from the website, then again I will say use Azure. The reason is being to prevent from the ethical hack, to prevent from the website get hacked or to get crashed with the help of DOS, denial of services, or because of, or maybe can because of session hijacking, or maybe because of SQL injection. So these are the securities not given to the websites which are hosted on GitHub. But these are the securities. Mostly it is 99% secure, you can say, in some cases. Like your website is gonna secure if you use Azure. So that's what my reason. So always, whenever you host a website, ask yourself whether it is going to be a static or dynamic. First of all, if it's dynamic, then no choice. Then no choice. If you want to use a free website, then use this 000 web host one, but this is again not secure. So ask whether you want a secure website and that is dynamic, then go for Azure. If not, then go with 000 web host. But in most cases, I will prefer to use Azure so that you will prevent the website get hacked. Because in your website, you're gonna have your business recipe. If someone get hacked, you can see their business recipe of your website and can make use of it. Find out some vulnerabilities. With the help of vulnerability, they can attack you with the help of DOS because of session hijacking, because of SQL injection or whatever. Okay. Now take the scenario that I have mentioned you already. Yeah, scenarios will not leave you. This is the last day of the scenario, so for sure I should include scenarios, right? Okay. There's a cute boy named Kittu, and who lives in a small city, but he is a hardworking boy. He totally into the world of coding. He wanted to become a good software engineer in a top MNC company. He heard his friend talking about like to become a good software engineer, you should have some development skills, right? So development skills can be a web development or an app development, but Kittu don't know anything about it. So he's determined to know about web development. Not it's our opportunity to know web development. But Kittu till now studied about HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, that to everything, right? From basic to advanced. We have studied about advanced HTML, we have studied about advanced CSS, we studied about advanced Bootstrap, right? So you know till that things. But now take the case. After helping Kittu making 5 different websites, now help Kittu to host the websites online so that everyone can view the website and make use of it. For sure, if you have made something, you should showcase your skills, right? Let's say if you have prepared a cake, right? That you did in my day one. So you should make the people eat, right? That cake you made for eating, right? If no persons will eat, then what's the point of making cake? Just are you gonna like just put in a museum and say, hey, Kittu made a cake for the first time, so I will put in a museum so that people can see like his kind of like that. No, no, you made cake to eat, right? So that's basically showcasing your skills, because people when eat, they will give you comments about that. So that goes with a website. Whenever you are a website, you should host it so that people can give you comments, so that people can praise you, so that people can make use of it. Since now Kittu is new to web hosting, he wants to do it for the free, and the method that is somewhat easy. So it is free and easy method. Kittu then decided to use GitHub as a medium to host the website. Yeah, you can use GitHub. Now let's help Kittu to publish his website named MyChess that we built on day 3, I believe, onto the GitHub and get a link to share it among his friends. Okay, so we're gonna do that now. Let's do web hosting. So first, go that. So first of all, just go to this link and just log in it if you have not created an account, or create an account if you want it, if you don't have anything. Once you have created, we're gonna do sort of repo. We're gonna first of all create a repo. What is repo? Is basically a containers. Repos are containers in GitHub, you can say. Okay, and that too for easy gonna do. Okay, first of all, just log in into GitHub by using this link. And if you have not created any account before, just create your account. Else, log in it. Okay, let me go to that. Just a minute. Okay, guys, there was a power cut. No issues. Okay, see, I am I'm thinking like you are able to see my screen of GitHub. Okay, just go to just log in it. You will get into some place like this, in which you are able to see your profile. Then just go to this repository section and click new here. Okay, give a repository name here. Let's say I'm hosting like chess, right? So my chess. I'm giving a my chess and it's available. Don't put anything optional. It's just optional. If you want to keep it, you can edit it for sure at the end here. Click on public here so that you can create a link. If you get a private, then no one can create a link of it. Add, click on this box, add a readme file. You will not get this option of IMG bot. That's what really issue. Then click on create repository. Once you create it on the repository, now it's time to upload your files, right? So let me go to the files we have created. See, I have included some of the files. So it is a chess file. So if I click on this, you can see this website, right? That's the website we built on day 3. So we have to upload it, right? So what you can do, have to do is just press Control A where you are, just to select all the files. Just drag it to that website. Let it upload, and yeah, it's uploaded. See, it's uploaded. Style CSS index HTML. Give it something like add files via method upload. Just give something like info. You can say files. Okay, something. Just click on commit changes. Wait for a few minutes. Now it will look like something like this. Files uploaded. Readme.md. There will be a file. So it's just a instructions file in which you can write some what we say. In which you can write some steps to assess this file, or like how to use this code what you are uploading here. So next there will be an index.html. Next there will be a style.cs. Okay. Go to settings here. Somewhat go down. Go to pages, go to none, click mail, and then just click save. Now you are able to see a message like GitHub pages source saved. Now you are able to see a website called as https al1216.github.io mychess. Okay, so the GitHub with the help of GitHub pages, you will get a link, right? Now wait for few 2 minutes. It will wait. You have to wait from 2 minutes, like at most 2 minutes. Have to wait for deploying it. Just wait for it. If you click some now, you will get nothing. You will get nothing. It will say 404. There will be a green mark here, like a tick mark once it deployed. So let's just wait for a few that minute. Yeah, just have to wait. Nothing more we can do. Okay, guys. Pretty much fine then. If you want to access the links of the certificate, just click over it in the Discord that I have shared you. After clicking over it, you will get this days, right? So let's say let it go to day 3. I've not uploaded yet before, but I did now. So just click on the recording. You're able to see your recording, right? So everything will be here for day 7 even. So you can do like that. Let's see me deployed now. No. It takes like at most 2 minutes. Yeah, see, you are getting a green check. Just click on that website. Sorry, I opened something else. Just go. Yeah. Hooray. Ta-da. You have uploaded your first website onto GitHub. Right. Now, see, everything is functioning that we have expected. Like whenever I over, it will become red, right? If you see, remember in day 3 we did. So we have coded, right? So if you want to share this website to one, just share this link. Anyone with this link, just can view it. Even if you wanna view it, just go to al1216.github.io slash my chest slash my slash. I will share in Discord in general section. You can just view it if you want it in this case. Okay, so go to Discord and just click on that link. You're for sure able to see this website, right? So that's what basically the thing the GitHub does to you. So see how easy it is. Nothing much, right? Nothing much. You just uploaded a file, just went to the settings, just go down, go to pages, just make it source to main. In the source, just select the branch to be main. Just click on save. Okay, you will get a link. Just wait for 2 minutes, let's say. Then your website will get deployed. If your website is big, maybe like 3 minutes, but not more than that. It takes in worst cases even. They're gonna do it. So just see. That's what's basically easy. You want have it. It can be. If you want to add some description, like add here D3 website built using HTML and CSS. Okay. Like topics separate, like what topics you have used. Maybe HTML you can say. HTML5. CSS I have used here. Okay, CSS I have used, and just click on save changes. See, here it came, and maybe you have visited GitHub earlier. You were able to see this, right? What the tech stacks they have used. So day 3 website building with HTML and CSS. Now let's say if you want to delete this repository, just go to this, just go down, just click on delete this repository and just mention this. Copy here and just copy here. It will get deleted. I am not deleting now because I have deployed the link, right? That is GitHub link. So maybe then you can't visit. Maybe you can just see it now. If you have gone there, you can just see it by clicking over this. Okay, so pretty much easy it is. I know. Hosting through GitHub. Now let's do the another method. Let's discuss about that. Okay, for another method, you should know, you should have some basic knowledge about cloud computing and their things. So let's talk about that. So what is basically a cloud computing? It is a delivery of computing services over internet, which is otherwise known as a cloud. These services include servers, storage, database, networking, software, analytics, and intelligence. Right. So it has many things. So what does basically it means? I will tell you just a minute. Just let teach. This is read it. Cloud computing offers faster innovation, flexible resources, and economics of scale. Cloud computing is a delivery of computing services over the internet by as pay as you go on pricing model. To put it another way, cloud computing is a way to rent compute powers and storage from somewhere else data center. Instead of maintaining CPUs and storage in your data center, you rent them from time being you need them. The cloud provider take care of maintaining the underlying infrastructure for you. Your cloud enables you to reach, solve your toughest business problem and bring you a cutting edge solution to the user. Okay, maybe you're not able to get it. What basically cloud computing means? Let's say, let's say you're running a very powerful app in your laptop. That powerful app can be app can be, let's say, deploying not app, but you're deploying a code. Let's say that is a ML machine learning code you're deploying in a laptop, let's say. But the issue is when you're deploying, what deploying means a code is you're running it and debugging it if any occurs. But what's happened is if you're writing a long code in ML, then it will take literally from 5 to 10 hours to just run it. Yeah, even you have very hard computers like i7 that I'm currently having, i7 one. Even if you use that now, it will hardly takes 4 hours. Like it will take 4 hours at most case. It will again. If you are using normal like i3 or i5, it will just take like it will just make you cry. That's what happened when you deploy some ML codes. See how much painful it is, right? You have if you want to just run a ML code, then you are taking that much time. And even not, I'm not saying for the small codes, I'm saying for the large codes. Okay, be mindful of that. But what's the way out? Because if you do like that, then your time will get wasted randomly, because in that time you can do something else work, or you can just finish your project, right? So that comes basically a cloud computing. So what cloud computing does, cloud computing is basically a data center located somewhere else, and you're gonna rent it. Let's say you're a tenant and you want to rent a home. Let's say, okay, that's basically a cloud computing. Then you're gonna use the features of it, like advantage of the things that you have rent from that house owner. Let's say, and that is make sure already like what the features they will provide is too much fast and quick. Don't go how they make this fast. Actually, they make this fast with the help of GPUs. So they sometimes called as GPUs or TPUs. It comes into that. I don't want to go in that, else it will be like too much long event. So with the help of a GPUs or TPUs, they make all the process that you are doing in 5 or 6 hours into a fraction of seconds, like 1 to 2 minutes. Let's say they just do like that with the help of GPUs and TPU. And out of that, TPUs are too much hardest one. Okay, and GPU is kind of less harder than TPU. Okay, so what basically a cloud computing is? Cloud computing is a service given by the service provider. Let's say a Microsoft, let's say a Google, let's say an IBM or whatever. Then you're gonna rent that services that they provide. The services can be web hosting, our primary basic. It can be web hosting, maybe like a static, dynamic, maybe WordPress, whatever you want. Yeah, if that WordPress website also you can't do in GitHub. Okay, that's a limitation. Then give you a security, able to solve your problems by the marketplace available in Azure. So see how many features you are getting it. You're just fasten your process like from 1 hour to like 5 to 10 hours to just 1 or 2 minutes. See how much fast it is, right? Even if you get some errors, you have only fixes. But if you get error in cloud, when we are using cloud, that Azure, let's say, is giving you an advice like, okay, this line is giving an error. Maybe you can switch to something else like this. That's basically advice they will give, right? So maybe you can correlate somehow what is cloud computing. Cloud computing is a place to give you all the services, but for sure they don't gonna be do for free, right? If they are having that much features, they don't gonna really do for free. You have to pay for it. So that pricing model will go on pay as you go. It means, let's say in your website, let's say the website that you have is basically available. Sorry, not website. If let's say if you have a computing service, whatever the computing services, maybe let's say you have an Azure, you have a subscription of it, right? So you're gonna pay in that subscription for the only resources that you use. Let's say you're just using web hosting, so you will get or you will get a bill only for the services that you use, not for the services not in. Let's say there is a VM called as virtual machine through the virtualization, that is through the hypervisor and then orchestration. It is made. So that's basically done. If you are not using any VM that is very hard storage, then you don't gonna pay for it. Let's say the VM costs $10 per month, so that $10 will not cost you, just it will cost you the thing that you're using in Azure. So that's really good, right? So it you can consider like a an house. So you can consider this like an house. Let's say if you are rent an house for 1 month, then you're gonna pay for 1 month. Okay, you don't gonna pay for 1 year, right? It's insane. Else I will kill that else I will kill that house owner even. If you are charging for 1 year, they will just charge you for 1 month if you just live for a 1 month. So that's what basically goes in cloud computing. Just pay for what you need. Furthermore, secondly, other things that it gonna like fasten your processes that you have did, and it gonna provide you many features even. So that basically a cloud computing. Literally, I used Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure. Out of that, I feel Microsoft Azure has more edge than Google Cloud. I'm not. It's my suggestions. You can say like I like Azure more. Okay. Now, what's the feature of cloud computing? The feature is automatic systems. Okay, economical for sure because you're gonna just pay for what you use it. Security, it gonna be too much secure, too much. Like it just I said now, like they're given an SLA. There's something called SLA, this service level agreement. If you studying about AZ 900, that is it's a certification exam that I passed already. So that's certification exam in cloud computing, AZ 900. If you are studying if you have studied AZ 900, if you may know about SLA, which is called as a service level agreement. As per that, it is even guaranteed like 99.9999% they are sure like they don't gonna the services don't gonna breach. Even the services will be available. So see how much they have guaranteed. Let's say if your service falls, then 99%. If your availability goes, then 99%. Then they're gonna refund you the amount. Let's say $180 it cost you for a month, but the availability goes less than 90 per, 99%. Then there is something called as pricing model. as per that they're gonna decrease this amount, or they're gonna refund you if have already paid this $180. So see how much they are transparent about that all. So this is basically called as SLA, service level agreement. If you study about AZ900, it's too much good, right? I literally suggest you to study AZ900. That's for free. Even you can learn from docs that Microsoft kind of, there's a website. Just write AZ900 certification exam in Google, you will get it, and you can pass the certification exam. It costs you around I forgot the price exactly. It ranges from 3,000 to 5,000. Okay, and that's pretty much about it. You can just pass the certification. It's not much hard, even I can suggest, but yeah, you have to study for this. It has like kind of 6 modules, and even if you pass it, na, they this year they have launched a program. Like the one who has passed some certification, they are giving them headphones, right? So I got a headphone even because I passed it in the following year, that is 2021. So I got a swag as a headphone also about passing AZ900 exam. So okay, so they used to do like that. So if you pass in this year, maybe they'll run a program in around July to October. They used to run that program generally, and every year there's something different price. So this year there's a prices headphones. Maybe something this will be more good this year. So yeah, hope it out. Like if you want to study, just go for AZ900 exam. Okay. Next is pay as you go. Then there is a measured service. Then there will be ability that I talked about, SLAs, large network access, easy maintenance. Too much easy it is to maintain as compared to a computer. On-demand services, 24/7 supports will be given to you whenever any errors. Resource pooling. Too much resources are there. So see how much features you are getting for cloud computing. Next, what is Azure? Azure is continually expanding set of cloud service that helps your organization meet your current and the future business challenges. So Microsoft Azure is a computing services powered by Microsoft. It is handled by Microsoft itself. What does Azure offer? Security offering, scalability, durability, recoverability, integrated environment with other Microsoft tools, analytics, intelligent capacity, and many more. If you want to study about Azure, you can just go to this thing and look into it. So what basically I taught is cloud computing is basically provided by this portal called as Microsoft Azure. But one thing I just want to know you, it is named earlier. It was his second name. Like when Azure was developed, it is given a name of Windows Azure. Okay. If someone asks you what the first name given to this Azure cloud computing, it is Windows Azure. But later they have changed this to Microsoft Azure to look at more specific, like Microsoft have has been handling, right? So just they have changed. So it's like similar to Bootstrap. If you remember, like it's was something different name, but now they gave it Bootstrap, right? So just know it was when it was first deployed, Azure cloud computing is known as Windows Azure, but they changed it to Microsoft Azure. Okay, just know about it. Let's the another scenario. Since Kittu now knows something about web hosting, he want to do it with the help of Microsoft Azure to for more security, for more easiness, kind of, and to be more specific about it. But Kittu think he need to take the subscription of it. But guys, no. If you are a student, no certification is needed. But this friend Aditya, that's me, told him to use a student developer pack to get the subscription for free. Yeah. Just go to GitHub. Instead that, just try to search for student developer pack Azure, and you will get a link to activate your subscription for free. That too for 12 months earlier. I not remember as of now like how much they are offering. When I seen, I remember it's for 12 months. Okay, and they're gonna give you some credits also. Credits is the amount given to your account. Like let's say your credits are like 10,000. How many credits given to me? It's 10,000. It's around 10,000 credits given to me every month. Every month I got 10,000 in Azure. Okay, so let's say if you build for 9,800, so it got deduct in your 10,000. You don't need to pay something else. But if you go, let's say 15,000, then for sure you have to pay what excess you have made. But 10,000 guys literally is too much. You like in a month, like sometimes even maybe build for 500 only. It just build for 500 kind of to me, because even if you do some hards, right, so it will just 500 per month. That much is cheap it is. So my mostly 8,000 goes wasted every month. How to do, like I just use it when it needed, and that costs around, let's say, 500, and I have given a credit of 10,000, but I'm not using it. That's what happened basically to me. But yeah, that's much too much case. So similarly like that, if we but you will not get the 10,000. I am only getting it. all the MLSA that I mentioned. What's the benefit of MLSA? So all the MLSA get 10,000 around. It's exact. I will tell you now. So around that every month. Okay. Now, if you want to, if you are not an MLSA, then no issues. You can activate your student developer pack to get the subscription for free with some credits. I forget that credit, and maybe it's for 12 months. Okay, you can just see it in Google, like by googling it. Kittu then decided to use Azure as a medium to host the websites. Now let's help Kittu to publish that website. My timetable that we build as I feel on day 4 onto the sorry, what I have written onto the Azure and get a link to share that with his friends. Okay, so why he wants to use Azure for more protection, let's say, for more security, for more mentoring. So not metering. Okay, for more metering. What is a metering or meter? It's a basically in how many times your website gonna update by Azure. Look into it for the errors. So you can set the metrics things also in that Azure. I will tell you. Just give you a brief about it. So why Azure you can prefer if you are hosting a dynamic website for sure. If you want more security, even if it's a static website, and to prevent from the errors. So because of many features, you can use Azure, right? And I totally suggest you to use Azure. But if you're new, you can use GitHub. But if you're like a pro, you're now solving the problems which is basically related to your business, which is too much critical, let's say. Then in that way, I suggest you to use Azure. Literally Azure. Even you're a student, right? So you can activate the student developer pack. So for that, what you can need it is maybe you need a college email ID. Yeah, college email ID, not @Gmail. What the college immediately get, what I get is VIT student dot ac dot in. So this is the one, and for MLS I got another student ambassadors. So this is basically called as business email IDs, not the email ID. If you try to activate for the Gmail ID, if you're not activated, you need a college ID. So if you're in college, let's say I'm in a college called VIT, Berlin Institute of Technology, in a computer science department. So I got this email. So if you don't get even an email, right, you can just ask your college to just give you a business email like this, like with a domain of your college, and you can activate this as a pack. It's really benefit. It's like just not for this, right? You can just with the help of Edge, student developer pack, you can just use many things that is provided by the GitHub. Let's say Canvas. If you know about it, it's very good editor for videos, for pictures, for resumes, kind of. And there are many more features, guys. Like you can get the you can just learn Mongoose for free, like MongoDB for free, sorry, and you can just get a certification also about that. Um, so that's what happening basically with student developer pack. Okay, guys, so just make use of it. It's really easy. You can just do it. Just ask your college if it's not given to you about that. They will give you mostly in in standard cases. Okay, let's do the web host. If you have any issues related to that, you can contact me at anytime. In web hosting, there is Azure. You're gonna go to this portal.azure.com, and we're gonna create first of all a storage account. Blob storage account in Azure. You're gonna give a blob storage account. Don't go to the name. It's too much big. It's kind of, but guys, it's really good. You can just go to this creation of blob storage account in Azure, then create your account, then we'll upload the files over, then we'll get a link of it. It's just that's much simple. But see, that much simple, right? It's nothing critical. You will get it now. Why I'm saying. Let me just check you all there, right? Up, all there. Good. So see, I feel you are able to see my Azure screen. It's a Microsoft Azure screen I'm getting from studentambassador.com. And let me show you how my credits. 10,900. It's approx similar to 11,000, right? See, 10,000 whole my credits is remaining. I just not used for this month yet. Yeah, it's starting off this month, right? No issues. Every month you will get that credits. You kids will be different if you are not an MLSC. Okay. So first of all, you are there, right? Go to the storage account option if you get from the beginning. You can just go to create a resource event. You can just write here in storage account. This place is called as a marketplace. Why this place is called as a marketplace? Because here you will get all your answers of the solutions. If you have any questions, you can just find that best fit out of it, and you will get the solution out of it. Just click on create. Mhm. It will let you to it will ask you some permission information to create it, and after that it got create to you. Just wait it load. Mhm. It's loading, right? Yeah, it's loaded. Good. So create a storage account. You're getting it here. Here, select a subscription. For me, it's a Visual Studio Enterprise subscription. Resource group. Create new, and just write something. Let's say Aditya storage account demo. Just click on OK. Then storage account name. It should be unique. Now I will struggle in this. I feel. Adi. No. Storage, because it should be unique, right? So I need to find the combination. Yeah, it's not there. Adi storage. Just select any region. Central US by default is fine. Preference selected standard. Redundancy selected GRS. It's fine. Just click review. Now here some validations will be go on running final validations. Wait for a few minutes. Still then you will get like what's basically you have did. So yeah, what's the issue here? Pre-flight validation failed. Please refer the details for the following. Could the storage con name? Are these storage already taken? Okay, it's not unique, right? Let me take some other name then. Okay, see that happens basically. You select some name that is not that is unique. Let me select something else. Storage. I think it's not there. Okay, just write reviewing kill. It's the variation check will go. Yeah, it's not there, right? See, validation text pass. Just leave by default everything. Just create on create. So now it will create the deployment for you. See here, it's an initializing deployment. That's the basically reason I have taught you deployment first, so that you will know what basically goes on. You can just uh, click on here. You will get a deployment in progress, right? Storage hit, deployment in progress. Now wait for a few minutes. Okay, we are waiting now. Till then I will let you know what website we're gonna host it. That is timetable one, right? If you remember timetable, just click on double click on it. Just go to Chrome. See, this is a website that we built on Dayfare, I believe, that we're gonna host now. Okay, see, we are getting this kinds of links. This is not a link, basically this is a directory. It's asking to go to see user, then Dell, then desktop, just go this folder that is events, then go day 7, then go timetable, then go to index. It's not a link, it's just a way to reach this file. Okay, so that basically things we're gonna host it online, and we're gonna get a, very good thing, like a link. So see how it's got deployed. Go to resource. Okay, now here you will don't get obsessed of it. Okay, like what's the hell is happening? No, it's just easy. Just go, as I'm saying. Here the resource group is mentioned that I've created location is basically a data center. If you remember, I mentioned data centers, right? So what basically the data center is, let me take the steps first of all, then I will teach you. Okay, let me zoom it. See, before like this is the name. I'm not sticking the pen. Yeah, see, this is the name of his blob storage account that I am saying you earlier. So why blob storage account is needed? Why? Because you're gonna upload your files, right? Upload your index HTML, CSS. For that you need a container. Like for having a bottle, you can't keep it in a hand. You just want a container like a tumbler. So in that you can keep water or a bucket, right? So similarly like that, you have to upload file. You can't keep it somewhere else. So in Azure it is called as blob storage. As in a GitHub it's called as repo. Now here you will get resource group. The name, just mention it like a group. With the help of this, so let's say how I can say, you have created a folder. Let's say that folder names will be exam. Let's say you have created a folder called exam. Okay, so just a minute. Yeah, you have created a folder called as exam. And if you're in VAT, you have three exams: cat 1, cat 2, and cat. So what basically exam in this means is resource group. And what this basically means, the subfolders that basically not subfolders, or mostly the storage account name. Okay, that basically it means. So what basically a resource group, it's a basically a group which gonna which gonna put everything into a single space, right? So if I want to create a storage account, then for uploading purpose, then I can just tag this resource group, right? It will work now. That's what. Now performance side will be a standard and hot. What basically hot means, there are three types I remember: hot, cool, and archive. If you study AZ900, you will get this. I studied 1 year back. I remember till now. Good. Okay, there you have three tiers: hot, cool, and archives. So what basically hot is, in the whenever you put something in hot mode, it means your website get rendered. Your website is refreshed automatically. It's the rate of refreshing. Refreshing. Okay, it's the rate of refreshing, and all your data are all the files that you have uploaded is kept near to the Azure account. What does basically it means, you will get if you know about virtual machines, virtual memory, sorry, not machine, virtual memory. If you study this in OS, you can get this. Okay, let me try to explain it now. What hot means, let's say you have uploaded your file, right? So in Azure there are many storage containers like this. So if you have mentioned this the SS as hot, then they will keep this that storage account near to your main account, so that whenever user want to render it, it just get found in an easy way. Let's say take an example of linked list. Let's say I have developed a linked list and I want to access some number. So tell me which number is easily accessible. Is it 3 or is it 1? For sure, answer will be 1 and not the 3. You will get O of 1. That is, in just one constant time, you just can access 1, right? So that basically goes in this Azure. Let's say all the storage account is accessed in this linked list. And if I mention something as hot, then it should be put in first, so that I will get it in a first go only, not in my two more swaps, let's say, because it will take, let's say, O of 3 or O of n in generalization case for this assessing this. For archives it is mentioned here, and for the cool it is mentioned in between. Hot and archives is mentioned in cool. Okay, in between hot and archive the cool is mentioned, and the archives are the one which is really usable, like only once in a year, let's say. Then it is mentioned as archive. If you I have created, and by default it is hot now. If I will not use, right, then it will be automatically mentioned as cool, and then it is automatically mentioned as archive. It depends. It will just Azure mention it. See how much intelligent the Azure can be. So if they put in hot, so it's basically benefit of you, so that everything get rendered in a usual way. Then there is a subscriptions. Then there's subscription maybe it's not much use, nothing much in this. Location is a data center where it's located. So you have many data center located all over the world. For security, they have mentioned as zones and then regions. So in a region, you're gonna have a two zones and one more zone for security purpose. So just new of it. Even you will get this when you will study AZ900. So there's a basically data centers are located or categorized as zones or regions. So in a region, you're gonna have three zones. Actually, only two is needed, and the three is needed just and two they just three they kept it for security. Let's say some disaster came, let's say earthquake and all. So and this two get destroyed. So there's one more again linked to it. Let's say all three get destroyed. So they have kept more one center that is of three just nearby to that place, or kind of a distance of 50 kilometers, let's say, to that data center for rendering it. So see how much they have worried about the security. If you have studied computer architecture and organization, you will get this into RAID 1. Yeah. In the RAID level 1, they is called as mirroring. Okay, so they did in mirroring same the digs. What is basically a mirroring? If you also do, but you don't know the specific name of it, that I will tell you. That is mirroring. That is RAID 1. Let's say you have created a file named as Adi, and you're just copying one more file named Adi and storing it somewhere else. I have kept this in F, and let's say I'm keeping this in G drive. So you're copying it, right? You're taking a copy of it. So this is basically called as mirroring or RAID 1. So they did same. So just what they did is just they have created a one data center. There's another, not data center. They have created one region. They created another region. They kept us at some distance. If this region got fails, this is a reason to escape you. So this basically the idea behind it of choosing a East US, because if in the East US some regions are there, in that zones the data center will be there, and if God fail, they can connect to some other regions nearest to East US. They Azure will do it. No worries of it, right? Just let's see how it works now. Inside that, you will get the overview. Inside that, just write static. static website. Just click on static website. Now you have to mention two things. First of all, your main HTML file. Next is the error file. First of all, select the enable. So main HTML file is my index.html, right? And the error file. Let's say if that website is not able to render for some reasons, then the people should see error message, right? So for that, for not for that HTML, I will say how to create that. Just click on save, and you will get 2 points. I will tell you what the use of it. Just go to now this storage browser preview. Then go to this blob container. Then go to this web. See, now you're getting an option to upload files, right? So click on this upload. Now, first of all, we have to upload the files first, but for that, we need a 404.html, right? So just open this with VS Code. You can do this all this stuff with the help of VS Code also, okay? Just an interesting fact. For that, you need to add this as a account that I've already did. But I'm showing this with the more simplest way. Just create a one more file that it's called as 404.html. It's just for security file, right? They're worried about security, right? So they're thinking the worst case email. Let's say if your website fails in some cases, let's say, then they will see show this page to the user. Error. Um, 404. Let's give me an H1. 404. Let's give me an H2. Error occurred. Error occurred. Okay. So see, it will be a very simple file, right? Just open with a live server. Nothing much. Error occurred. Even I can put in one line, then it will look more good, right? Just let me put in a one line. It's not keeping two. Okay. 404 error occurred. So whenever a user will get this 404 error occurred, they will get to know like, okay, they're not able to render the file. Some issues are there. So they're gonna maybe refresh it or they're gonna wait it. Whatever the Azure will take care of it or that. No need to worry. Just close it now. I don't need it. So in this timetable, we have to upload this file. So how are you gonna upload it? Just go to this upload browser. Just click for browser files. Let me go to this day 7. Then timetable. Select all. Sorry. Just click on open. See, it's gonna upload here. Just get a button called upload. Uploading 3 storage. So see how much fast it is. Too much fast from GitHub, right? Just even more codes, it will be too much fast. So just click cross here. So see, inside your web, in the blob storage, don't get it into it. What it basically means, just web. If you want to know, even just web is a way to like host your websites. So it's done it for not for the HTML, index.html, site.html. If you go here, just click on properties. Make sure to set it text/html. See this one. This will know like this will tell like it is an HTML file. For sure, it will be text.html. If in some ways it was not, then you may like upload it again. It will be text.html for sure because they're gonna mention they're gonna understand by this format for the HTML, right? So you can print the content for your use even if you want it. Else no issues. So text/html, it lets them know like it's an HTML file. Just go back now again here. Go to static website. Now this copy this primary endpoint. So what basically these endpoints are? Let me teach you that. Okay. What is this? Is basically a primary endpoint. Primary endpoint is a link to your website. There's a first link to your website, and they given a secondary link also. What the secondary is link is the second link to the same website. To this both link, you will get the same thing. That is the same file. But why they given one first two links? You heard it. This site crash, this site crash, this site crash, and they this happens because of many user traffic kind of things, right? To prevent that, Azure is concerned about the security. So they given two links. Let's say first link get crashed because of some reason. Just use second link. You don't need to redeploy it. See how much they are worried about your concern. Let's say second link. You just use the first link. So have always a security to you, right? Now don't select both the link will fail. No. If it happens, they will recover it. So because of that, they are made some agreements called as SLA, that is service level agreement. So don't worry for that. But either of the links fall, just use it anyone. So that's what basically the thing. Let me show you how it works. Just click on copy link. Let me open it here. Let's see how it looks. See, Ta-da! Your website get hosted, right? Let me copy this one more link. Let's see how it looks even here. Ta-da! Let me copy that again so that you will not feel like I have just did some magic and all. Okay, some mistake statement. We'll handle it. No issues. Is that okay? Go back. I have mentioned one link. Next, let me mention one more link so that what you can do is just click over it and you can just see it, whether it's working on your link or not, so that you will not feel fishy about me. Like I'm not doing it kind of. Okay, so see these two links, just click over it. You will just able to view this the thing that I'm able to visible. Okay, great, right? Interesting. I feel yes. So see how much easy it is. Is it difficult? No, no. It's just too easy. Let me take some one or two voices. Is it easy, Pratish?
Yeah, Aditya, absolutely.
See, people are saying easy, and people used to say it's hard sometimes. No issues. We used to teach hard contents also in easy. No issues for that. So next, what motivations for web development? Why you should journey your web development? Continue your journey of web development. Two, solve the real world problems. To solve the real world problems with the help of tech stack you have. What the real world problems can be? It can be as easy. It can be as difficult, right? So let me take a real world example that I faced. I have included three real world problems linked that first two I have created, and for the third one I have created with my friend Himanshu. He is today in a lecture also. He will give you a guest lecture at the end. He's too much. He is also good like in web development. So his review is also good too for you. Okay, fine. But this two I created by alone. Okay, so what's basically the thing that I have given to me? I have created also. I have solved more problems, but that uses some tech stack such as JS, and that uses something called as Node.js. So I have not taught it, so I'm not just showing it. Okay, fine. So okay, now what's the problem given to me is like in my club, I was in OWAPS club, let's say. In my club, they are organizing an event called as Valorant. Maybe you know the game, right? It's a game, online game. So they asked me to create a registration format so that they can accept the players' response, whether they want how much they want to play or like who want to play it. For that, they have created a registration form, right? So they have given me some kinds of specifications or kinds of demands. What basically the form should be look like, and I have created a good form like a registration form. I will show you how now even what I created. So see, this is one of the real world problem, right? They are organizing an event. Real world problem. So they are organizing an event. They want me to create some registration form with some specific constraints that I will show you. Like it should contain some Discord ID. It should like number of players. Some specific something we have to mention, like it should be required also. Like some contents are required. They can't just skip it. I have to mention. I have to take care of that. Something like that. Next page for that same event, they asked me to create something called as rules page. Okay, in rules page, they have mentioned the rules to play this game called as Valorant when they're organizing it in our college. So they have mentioned the rule page so that if anyone has issue, let's go to this rule page. So rule page also should be something that just said to make a rule page. I tried to make it something good to looking that I will show you now. So this is another real problem. Another real problem that we solve with this QME is the problems of COVID. We just motivated to solve this problem called as COVID in a hackathon. We build this app, build this website. Sorry. So there are some kinds of forms, registration forms. So the registration form we are like linking with the nearest hospitals, and we are trying to solve the real world problem, like COVID problems as soon as possible. Since all are busy, we are making this chapter so people can just place it. We'll just contact them with the nearest hospital to them there and just make the things fine. So that's basically the third thing that we have solved with this text check. So see how much interesting is this, right? So let me show you how it looks. For that, what you have to do is you don't need to do it. I will do. Okay. I have not hosted this yet because it's my college work, right? So I can't upload without their permissions. See, first, this is a website called as registration form I have created for the Valorant. See, is this looking like a game, right? Game points there. Like in these points, like you can just see in the game. So I'm asked to mention the team name, the transaction ID that updated, payments and all, email ID. And since they are mentioned as required, if I try to submit now, they will say no, you can't submit. Mention the ID. So teams member details, the Discord ID, and I've mentioned a star over there. Why star? Because it's required. Then second member details, third member details, fourth, fifth. Then create an hover effect. When I hover on the screen, see how it looks. It's nice, right? When I click over it, it will say no. This field you have to fill out. So see, this is the real world problem that I solved first of all. Being in a camp, being in a college, it's easy, right? It's not difficult. You have to solve it, but you have to put it. You have to make it according to the themes that we had said for. That is the games, right? So that's what basically I have did for the fonts also, the background image, the name, the this one. It's basically a Valorant button. It is called as Valorant button. Like whenever I hover it, it will just go like this. It's basically can do with sliding effects in CSS. Fine. Let me show you the another website that I have built. That's the rules page. Uh-huh. Let me go. See, this is the rule page I have. It's looking good, right? So in this, I have used cards and grid layouts. Bootstrap I have used. I will show you why. See, whenever you click on someone, so let's say this is right. So rule one is displayed in blue, sorry, white. When I click on it, it becomes yellow, and that line came, and that rule is visible. So it is done with some kinds of CSS or some streams of Boost, Java also, JavaScript. So rule 3, rule 6, rule 5, rule 4. You can just go down. Rule 7, rule 8, rule 9, rule 10, 11, 10, like that. If you try to string the thing, see, it will take, it is not taking the full page, right? Now it's looking like this. Now no need to hover it, because in a full page you don't need to hover it, right? It just by default it just become yellow. It's not needed in full pages. If we try to go to tablet page, so see, the box become more small. If you try to go to the full page, see, it's becoming big. So see, I have used grid layouts and cards that I taught in day 5, right? In day 6, sorry. In day 6, I have taught about this cards, and grid layout I have taught in day 5. If you're not seen, just see the recording that I have uploaded, fine. So see, this is the second problem that I solved. Now, third problem that I have solved is this. Not me only, but Himanshu also solved with me. Me and Himanshu. So this is the website that we have built for COVID. So this is some of the SOPs due to the COVID. In the end, if you want to take some information, we have linked with the WHO's National Portal India, coronavirus outbreak, and there's something called as Caribou Code, that is the name of our team. Then you can go to this tracker. We have integrated this tracker with the APIs application program interface. You can just see the overall, like COVID patients. Now let's go to hospital bed availability. We have linked with some of the hospitals, about the availability. Let's say if you want to see the bed availability of some states, let's say Chhattisgarh, just click over it, and then you will be react to some page. Let's say take me this district in which I'm living currently, that is Koba. Just click on show. See, all the hospitals will be there, and the number of beds, let's say, and whether it's free or not. We have did. Now just go to game. This is the game we built with JavaScript. So you can just please play game. You can just build some games also with the help of JavaScript. We did. See, and the scores on will be there here, and you have to build it, right? Sorry, it's a health, and the score will be on the right. On the left, it's a health. So see, if you are getting red, it means you have not killed that yet, right? Kind of. Now just go to the forms. So we have created some of the forms, like such as COVID forms, to fill about you, where name and mobile number and address and symptoms if you are feeling you are a COVID patient. Let me take someone, let's say, call as vaccination forms, in which we have integrated the website also, COVID, names, mobile numbers, age, and have you completed your vaccines or not, kind of yes or no. Next, go to forms, let's say plasma donor. If you don't know about plasma donation, you can donate the plasma if you are a COVID patient earlier. Just click on the click here to the form. Let's go back. Then go to like another form that we have built. So this is a collection of forms, all the necessary forms. It can be a plasma donor form, like that we are saying about. You can just click over it. The people, it will be directed to share about your plasma. See, your health is going down, right? It will just say end game now. Low health, let it game. Say go game 7 and have scored for 115. You can just click on play again. That's what we have built. Yeah. Next one, the donations one. In the donation, if you want to donate some amount of lump sum money to us, you can just donate in this. You just hided it as of now. When we did it for public, can do it for sure. So transaction ID, mobile number, name, and just can submit, and we'll take your donations even. So see how we are trying to develop, we are trying to deploy everything in a one place. This is Mancha and this is of course me. So we have used cards here, right? And grid layouts. That is to maximum in a page. Just go to home. So we are trying to solve this. It's nothing matter like whether it's kind of like you did or not. It's like you have tried to do. That's basically nearly necessary to solve the real problem. So real problem is the COVID, right? We tried our best to do it kind of by taking the forms at a place and contacting the hospitals near to the persons by taking their locations kind of. Even if you submit the forms, you will get a mail out of it, response. The acknowledgement you can say like you have filled the form successfully kind of also. So we have did that also in this website. So see we have deployed this websites. That's to solve the real world problems. My second last slide is basically on my what is my next bootcamp. Okay, forgot to mention Discord server. You have my right? Okay, LinkedIn you also have. Okay, let me put no, let you have right. No need to put. Um, okay, let me remove them. I forgot to put. Okay, now I'm gonna give you a spoiler or a teaser, whatever you say. What's my next bootcamp? I hope you love this bootcamp. That is web dev. If you remember my scenario for development skills, two development skills are required. First is the web dev, and next is the app dev, right? So yeah, you guess it right. My next bootcamp will be on app development. Yeah, guys, be excited. Okay, my next bootcamp will be on the app development, and that's gonna be for sure of like around the 7 days maybe, or if I want, I can increase for days, but don't know about as of now. But it's gonna be on app development, and I can make sure after attending this bootcamp, making apps will gonna be like a cakewalk for you, like a chocolate, right? Just you eat chocolate easily, as much easy it kind of go for you for building an apps development with me hands-on as you did for the web development. See, we just taught the very difficult, that is advanced concept of HTML, CSS, Bootstrap in such an easy with the help of scenarios that I gonna do same for the app development. So what's gonna my how do you say um way to organize this bootcamp is, first of all, there will be a bootcamp for sure for some, let's say 7 days, and before this bootcamp there will be one more event, that is a roadmap to app development. Okay, in this roadmap video only I will teach how to get started with the app development, what basically you needed, what basically you required, because I've seen many YouTube videos but they are not mentioning it rightly, right? So I am me too. When I am starting, I just got confused. I just start when I did remember, so it's just too much confusing at really. So to prevent that confuseness and to have a very clear idea, I will say for sure every two things, because I have to show you right also, because I remember what I said. I have mentioned everything in the beginning or the end, if you remember that too. So I will give a first. There is one more even called as before that 7 days of bootcamp, that is called as a roadmap to app development, complete roadmap, that too from beginner to mostly advanced. Okay, you're gonna build an apps really, like in this bootcamp you have built 5 websites, right? So in that bootcamp also you will also build some amounts of app. Let me decide about how many apps you have to build. So this is a spoiler to you. I will not I will not, now I will not tell you more about this app development, else the excitement will go on, right? I want to keep the excitement in you about my next bootcamp, that is the app development. Literally, guys, if you attend that, it will become easy like a web development to you. For the timelines, I'm not sure when I'm gonna organize, but by the end of this year, I gonna for sure. Why I'm saying, because I have my college open, so I have to move to my college, right? So we'll be busy with a few months in the hostel stuff and getting used to it. So once I get comfortable, for sure in this year only, the app development will be. Just follow me in my LinkedIn and be in Discord server as you are. Don't leave it, because all the information will be shared on my LinkedIn. Connect me on LinkedIn and on the Discord server also, so that you will not miss any further important updates about this kind of special bootcamps. Because I see many of them liked about this bootcamp also. Okay, so that's made me to launch another bootcamp also called as an app development bootcamp. So just think, guys, like if you just did it like, then how it gonna be easy for you to crack and top MNC company and get a very good money, right? But that shouldn't be a motive to add up. And also, once I start development, you will just get it as you get it for the app development with the help of scenarios. First, I will not teach you the tags in app development. It's for sure not gonna be. For sure, you're gonna get a case as you did for that, and yeah, get started to the app development. So that much about it. Just a teaser to you or spoiler to you. Um, uh, you're excited maybe, just follow me on my LinkedIn and Discord server to get started with app development also. Now the Q&A session, if you have any for today's, else we'll start the quiz. Let me close this. Guys, in doubts? Anyone?
No.
Let me ask. Yeah. No? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So, okay, you can log into Quizy, joinmyquiz.com, and just enter this game code.
चादर कंबल उबल सब बड़े रहता है। नहीं तो खुला रहता होगा, ऑटो जैसा नहीं, आपका पहचान तो आपके यहाँ रोक के दिखाएगा। वैसे फेरी थोड़ी करता है, दुकान में जाता है, लिफ्ट से जाता है, जिसके यहाँ।
Okay, guys, all have joined. Someone is left. There are 9 members here. Abhishek Bhaiya seems you have not joined yet. Abhishek Bhaiya, yeah. Abhishek Bhaiya, just you are left. Abhishek Bhaiya, will you join? Or else I should start. Okay, Jawad also not joined. Okay. They just wait for 3 minutes, then it will be 6. Then we can start. Till then, guys, any feedbacks regarding this boot camp? I really want it because it's 7 days and you're gonna have one question also in that. So just unmute it and tell about this bootcamp, how it goes for 7 days. Anyone?
It went nice.
Okay, Devansh.
Like few of the classes I wasn't able to join. Like yesterday I was out there. But afterwards I went through the recording and
Okay.
good.
Yeah, Aditya.
Yeah, Himanshu.
Yeah, I'm doing a great job holding boot camps for peer students. It's 7 day long, giving time like 2 to 3 hours. Like it's hard for me to give at least a 1 hour. Therefore, I have came at day 7. Sorry, I
Yeah,
was busy
no
in
issues,
meetings
Himanshu.
and all.
No issues, Himanshu. Like you just came, like you can just give a guest lecture out in that also, so the people will make use of it. But yeah, you liked it, so that's why you're good for me. Guys, if
Yeah,
you
the
don't
last
know,
the
yeah, yeah,
day
yeah. Same
day
one.
7 session was so good, like knowledgeable, like about Azure, cloud computing, hosting.
Yeah.
You have explained so much, everything so much clearly.
Okay, Himanshu. Thanks for it. Get that much good feedback. I really motivated about that. Thanks, Himanshu. And if you don't know, like me and Himanshu are like too much close friends in school. Like even we used to just sit together in school. That's what about it. That's what's
Yeah.
really fun. But yeah, he liked it. That's fun. Fine. Yeah, Harishni. I'll try to send something. Um, okay. Thanks, Himanshu, for the good feedbacks. And any more? Let me call then Varshini. Varshini, how it goes? You also attended for the all 7 days or 6 days, I remember. So how it goes? Um, Kalia? Okay, maybe busy with quiz. Okay, we'll start. No issues. Jaha, Jahar, how about you? Okay, maybe after quiz you will see. No issues. Okay, it's 9. We can start now. Um, okay, get started, guys. How many phases are there in web development deployment? Okay. Okay, 4 is the right answer. I've shown 4 blocks, right? Okay, let's see the leaderboard. Uh-huh. Okay, Sarthak, Pratyush, Ayushi, Vanshu, Varshini. It's good. Really good. Uh-huh. Okay. Uh, True or false for both statements? Can you host websites for free? Can you host dynamic websites on GitHub? Okay, 8 responses I got. Okay, time's up. 2 have not applied. Okay. No issues. Let's see the leaderboard. Himanshu, Akshay, Pratyush, Varshini, Sarthak. Great, great guys. Uh-huh. Okay. What's the first name given to cloud computing Azure? I mentioned it specifically. Okay, okay. Okay, most of you have given answers. Um, 9, 1 not given answer. Good, no issues. Let's see the leaderboard. Okay, same. Manshu, Pratyush, Varshini, Sarthak, Ayushi. Top 5. Next question. Can you get Microsoft Azure subscription for free through GitHub Student Developer Pack? It's easy question, guys. You can just answer it. Okay, mostly answered yes. Let's see. 9, I've answered yes. Okay, time's up. Let's see the review board. Okay, same. Great, guys. Next, the second last question, that for which you will get points. Select the odd one out related to cloud computing. Odd one out. Odd one out, guys. Odd one. Okay, guys, after this, they will get a rating question. There's no correct or right answer for that. Rating of the whole boot camp, not this this single event. That is day one. Okay, I will give you more about that. Time's up. Then leaderboard, please. Okay, Pratyush, Himanshu, Sarthak, Ayushi. Great, guys. Okay, guys. So next question is the rating of the whole boot camp, not the today's only, right? So whole boot camp, just rate it as soon as possible. You will get more points to how you fastly you have answered it. So just it will be useful to excel your ranks, right? So last question of the whole boot camp, rate it, not only single day. Okay. Nice answered. Who not answered yet? Ashwini. Okay. Great. Now let's point to get to your ranks. For top 3 will get digital specs, right? So yeah, let's see that now. Sarthak, third, Himanshu, Pratyush. Great guys. Yeah, great. You did great. Really, really good to see that. And for Sarthak, I can mention like he's just a school boy, right? Oh my god, how you can do, Sarthak? So good, yeah. Okay, good. Let me save this. Just a minute, okay. Okay, let's first of all ask Sarthak, like, how is the boot camp, Sarthak?
Well, hello, I'm doing from my sister's account.
Good, no issues. Yeah.
Yeah, so about the rating, so it is going fantastic.
Okay.
Like,
Thanks.
I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, but I thought they were quite complicated. But you are doing, I'm able to understand everything very easily from you.
Oh, so cute, so cute. Thank you, Sarthak, for that. It really is helping. Like you're even just a school kid, children. Like guys, just he's studying maybe 9th or 10th, but see how much like he got ranks third, and in previous days also I seen he got very good ranks. So see how much good is helping to all. Like, thanks, Sarthak, for the feedback, and do attend my next boot camp also. That is an app development. So it's really funful, right, to create an app. So Pratyush, anything about you? Pratyush.
Just a minute.
Okay. Yeah, Pratyush.
Yeah, Aditya, I hope I am audible now.
Yes, Pratyush. Yeah.
Yeah, Aditya, to be very honest, I just felt blessed after attending this boot camp, since I didn't have any idea regarding this web development. And for a long time, I was thinking that I should learn this. I should learn this. I have asked you also about how I should start.
Yeah.
And in meantime, you have just started this book. It's really very helpful for me. And I'm just want to thank you for this wonderful event. Hope you will be conducting more such events in future, and hopefully I will be able to join this. So a huge clap for you. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Pratish, for this great compliment. It just really motivates me. And for sure, I will conduct more that is app development that I given follow to you. It's kind of too much amazing, more good than this even. Okay, let's call Himanshu now for a good sense of motivation. Himanshu.
Hello, am I visible?
Yeah, Himanshu, you are visible.
Yeah, hello everyone. Yeah, so I am Himanshu Sahu. I'm an ethical hacker, data scientist, and a web developer. Mostly, I'm focusing on web developing. It is, the web developing is the vast field and a most demanding field in the uh, computer science career. All the most demanded and the most easy to learn, or I thought easy to learn and easy to grab. And one of the most demanded skill in the career, CS computer science career. But you have to learn, build, and then explore. You have to explore as much as you possible in this field, as like it has front end part, back end part, have some frameworks like Node.js, uh, MySQL, like for database MySQL, and uh, modules like PHP. PHP is something old, but we have new modules, JavaScript, ECMAScript 6, and other things. So my only purpose is to learn, build, and explore. That's all.
Thanks, Himanshu, for that much good motivation about the bootcamp. Like, and I'm really sure, like, guys, you're gonna make use of it. Okay, guys. So yeah, it's kind of emotional to like we're gonna just end this beautiful bootcamp for 7 days. Really, thank you for all guys who have joined, who has made this bootcamp successful. And yeah, for sure, you will get your digital swags, certificate of appreciations, and recordings soon. Okay, just wait for a few more days, else you will get it. And be ready for my next bootcamp also, that is app development. Okay, just connect me on LinkedIn. And yeah, one more thing, guys, please don't forget to upload your certificates, digital swag, certificate of operation when you get or whatever, in the LinkedIn, and tag me so that I get to know about that, like how it feels about the bootcamp, because I'm not able to ask everyone, right? So I will get that from you. So guys, just it's really a request to me, request from me, like just do like that. It really motivates me